Tom Brady with the video. I'm not watching it right now, but I'm looking at the photo of it, and he's got a smile on his face as he announces it.
For good. For good.
So this is it.
You would think.
Okay.
That's all right. That's it.
So he wanted to put the kibosh on 24 hours after what happened yesterday with the 49ers.
Good move.
I would agree.
It's a good move. Because if you weren't going to stay in Tampa Bay with this, jumping around business, and then you were going to go to San Francisco or another team, but that, as many players said in the locker room that night, it felt like he was saying goodbye from Tampa.
From Tampa, for sure.
But he would go somewhere else, not retire. But it's a good move.
Okay, so now I'm actually playing the video, and with no sound on here, it looks like he's, just by judging his face, he's getting more emotional as he's talking about it. Yeah, for sure. Their options were going to be out there for him, though. I mean, this Raider stuff, right?
Absolutely.
That was
Raiders, San Francisco, with the Purdy injury,
to play with McDaniels, to go and play with San Francisco with everything that they have.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wanted to potentially scoop another ring, that would have been a tremendous landing spot for him. But he just evidently recognized that that's it for me. I'm out. And, there you go. I mean, he did it last year. He announced the retirement, but that was when Schefter broke it on him.
Yes, I know.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's right.
And then
like that.
The craziness about that was it was Selection Sunday. and like every sports book in the world is getting ready to make a point spread on these games that are getting announced on CBS and other networks. And all of a sudden, Brady, I'm coming back. What?
Yeah. He did the right thing. Now, remember the great quote that he had, I'll retire when I suck. Well, from a team standpoint, yes, they won the division, but they had a losing record, right? It was a terrible season for them. But he was third in yards and had 25 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. So most guys would kill for those numbers.
Right.
But that's it. This is the best way to go about it.
I think so.
Plus, how much that divorce now that it's coming out, the toll that it took on him as well.
Well, I'm curious here. Like if he stuck to it a year ago and did not come back to play this year,
saves the marriage.
Are they still married?
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to save the marriage. Sometimes marriage isn't worth saving.
Yeah,
who knows? But that's a good point you bring up as well. Yeah, if he does it a year ago and she gets her way. After this, please, come on, your health. Time to be a family now. And that would have been, a great time, too, to go out on top.
Well, he's just... Think about this for a second. We are watching Patrick Mahomes do something that we've never really seen before on the field. I mean, I'm talking about the way that he operates as a quarterback. Nobody has really ever been that gifted before. Aaron Rodgers had a toolbox that was insanely deep. Mahomes offers more things than Rodgers actually did.
Uh-huh.
But Mahomes, in 5 years now, it's difficult to win a Super Bowl. He might win it this, coming weekend, in 2 weeks, for a second. But to get to 7 like Brady did, 6 with one team, and then he says, nah, that's it for me. And then in year 1, goes to the NFC
right away
with Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers.
I know, right.
And he goes on the road to beat both of those guys in the playoffs to win one.
He has as many rings in the NFC as Brees and Rodgers.
That's right.
The ultimate middle finger, right? And I'm sure that has to bother Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers saying, I'll take the money, and Adams walks. That's on Rodgers. But also Brady just saying, hey, can I get this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy? And they go, okay, sure, no problem.
Yeah.
And he wins the Super Bowl.
Right. Brees only played in 1, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, he only played in 1. So that means 1 NFC championship. Aaron Rodgers only has 1 NFC championship. Brady the same. I mean, it's stupid.
I think that's right.
I think he only played in 1.
The Saints only went to 1 Super Bowl with Brees? Yeah. And how many times they lost in the NFC title game. Okay. But now what do they do? What direction do they go? They got to start that completely over. And that could that be Garoppolo? Now this opens the door for Garoppolo for several places. Now and then the Rodgers sweepstakes can heat up even more now too.
Yeah. I don't. Do they fall off like the Rams really could fall off?
Yes, they could.
No, I know they had a lot of things go wrong this year with the Rams. The injuries, Stafford, Kupp, Donald. But also, that's what happens when you sign all of your superstar players to massive contracts and you don't have a lot of depth, once they get hurt, it's, okay, not very good. And do the Buccaneers, here's the cliff. They kind of like get pushed off of it right now like Tampa or like the Rams did. And the NFC, man, the times are changing.
Yep.
Because maybe Rodgers goes somewhere this offseason, and they were awful this past year. The Super Bowl champs couldn't make the playoffs. The Buccaneers backdoored their way into an NFC South championship. And again, think about the quarterbacks that we're talking about right there. That's why if you're like Lamar Jackson and some of these others, I mean, Sean Payton taking the job yesterday in Denver.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to be in the AFC.
I know. It's also $20 million a year, though, too.
Yeah.
Yep. Think about this. Brady, 35 playoff wins. Montana's second was 16. Peyton Manning, Steve Young, Elway, 14.
Come on.
And Bradshaw. I mean, that's stupid. How long does Mahomes have to do this? Mahomes has been to 5 straight AFC title games. He's 10-3. He's 25 behind Brady. That's absurd. 35 playoff wins. And how many times were they the 1 seed, or how many times Brady made it to the AFC title game? But the worst thing would have come if he would come back, and it would have been Tampa, and it would have been. It's a 6-win season,
and Paul, if it would have looked ugly, right? I know. Again, I don't mean this as an insult to Peyton Manning, because I'm a big fan of Peyton Manning. I love the Manning cast, and he was very good, obviously, as a quarterback. Peyton Manning was not a good quarterback in his final year, though. They won that Super Bowl because of the defense, and it did not look pretty. I mean, Osweiler helped them win that division that year.
Yes,
and he was a big reason why they made it that far.
I don't think they had a third down conversion in the AFC title game when they beat New England.
Is this going to break Twitter today? Funny how we were talking about that moment. He tweeted this out again 12 minutes ago. He has, it's like 60,000 likes and 20,000 retweets already.
Okay. And now the clock is ticking on Greg Olsen.
Wait a second here.
Greg Olsen gets demoted now.
Yeah.
Not from the Super Bowl, but Brady now moves into the number 1 slot.
Oh, that'd be a slap in his face if they said step aside. Yeah. Brady's going to come in next week.
Brady's going to put him in the booth. Who cares?
Schefter with a tweet. It was a year ago today when he made the announcement that he was going to retire. He just tweeted it out February 1st last year. And then it was, 6 weeks later then? Middle of March when he said, "No, I'm coming back."
Yeah.
All right.
Well, the other thing, when you say for good, I mean, you can't pull this now. You can't.
Well, I can't wait to hear it. Well, we'll have it coming up. Again, he is, forget about quarterback. He is the best in any sport of our lifetime and ever.
Yes.
Brady.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.